Hello, my very dear Geminis. This is your reading for May 11th, or when you hear it and it resonates, and it won't be for every Gemini, of course. As I was starting to work with you, I was seeing you standing on a perch of some kind, about to really speak loudly. And as the sound comes out, you go, and you kind of turn away. And this is kind of how I see what's going on here with this pattern that I'm looking at, which is that you don't always, you can look really, really calm on the outside, but you're not. On the inside, things are. As an air sign, of course, we know that you can think a lot about a lot of things all at once. It doesn't mean you're thinking clearly about everything all at once, however, because as much as you can feel comfortable and that it's almost natural to have this kind of adrenaline rush running through your body, you don't always identify it as stress. It can just be excitement, and sometimes it is. However, when you are simply being stoic, looking strong on the outside as a way to contain all of that stress and energy that's on the inside, this doesn't really help you be able to be in touch with what your real feelings are and also have the ability to speak. Because if you can't have clear thought process of what's actually going on for you emotionally, if you can't speak it, or if you can't have words for it in your head, you can't speak it externally. So you're being told here, if there are things that need to be addressed for you, and again, I'm saying this if it is, because we're reading for a collective, right? So if there's something that you are going through now, then what you're being asked to look at is, it's really in a calm focus. It's really setting your intention clearly to be able to be calm in order to have that connection between your heart and your head so that you get to really feel your emotions clearly and calmly in a way so that you can speak it calmly. You've got the card, the power card, and you've got the card that indicates the difference between child and adult. Child is can't, adult is won't. That's a generalized statement. But yes, when you find yourself going, no, I can't, sometimes it is really just a statement that you have lost track of where your power really lies. And that is your ability to speak your truth and your ability to stand by what you believe and by what is right for you. But again, that's a difficult thing to do unless you can allow yourself to stay calm and feel it. But here's the thing that I'm being reminded of, and that is that when there has been a lot of ongoing stress, sometimes it's too difficult for a person to actually get in touch with what they're feeling in their bodies because the body doesn't feel like a safe place to them because it's so highly stressed. And sometimes it's just because in that state of adrenaline, it's more action oriented, and for a Gemini often that will be first of all in your mind and then being busy in many things in the world around you, many different directions. Honestly, sometimes I just don't know how you folks manage to do it. But what you're being told here, my dears, is if that's the case, if for you it's really difficult to get in touch with your emotions by allowing yourself to get in, feel into your body and what your body is telling you about what's going on and the impact of what's going on around you, because that's kind of key. You don't always understand the impact that the environment you are putting yourself into is having on you. You can say, oh yeah, it's okay, I'll just do this instead. But if what you're doing is putting yourself in an energetic situation or emotional situation where you're constantly having to compromise with yourself in terms of what's okay, this is where you can really, really gain a lot of value by checking in and saying, where am I doing this out of a place of disempowerment and where am I doing this out of a place of empowerment? Check in with what your ego is telling you, because that's very often where you'll get that childhood stuff. Oh no, I can't because maybe that's going to upset them. Well, so what will you lose? And if you are not willing to lose something Is it worth you not speaking your truth? I'm going to leave you with that, my dears, because I feel like this is not just around a specific situation, Gemini. I feel like this can be like a way of thinking that can come with your sign. And again, I mean, I'm speaking about this a lot lately because I think it's something, as we're all really coming to these huge turning points in terms of where we allow ourselves to go and traits we are allowing ourselves to drop and new characteristics that we're embodying and embracing and exercising as a way of growth, as an experience of self-awareness, we get to really be able to understand it and cut ourselves some slack around not doing it perfectly or finding it challenging, because we've got the neural pathways that kind of hijack thought energy and take us into these certain loops. This is where you can understand that by choosing in the moment to make a different choice, you start the process of creating new neural loops that are more empowered, that are more focused on your essential self as opposed to your child self, your ego self, and one that can now embody and really give speech, voice, and credibility to the strengths that you have, and develop your confidence in trusting that, so that you are able to calm, so that you are able to speak your truth, and you are able in any given moment to understand where your power lies and where it's draining. And that's a big one for you, Gemini. That's a really big one for you. You can be some of the most caretaking type people in the world. Sometimes there is a programming of that as a coping mechanism. And it doesn't mean to say that if you come in with that desire to be a helpful person, that it's pathological. This can also be your sole inspiration. And this is where it can kind of get hijacked into other behaviors. So this is where you're being told, check out where your power is, my dears, because you got it. Leave you with that, Gemini. Much love.